got my oncologist appointment today. The Oxford English Dictionary defines an oncologist as, well, it's basically like the boy version of an ontologist. Okay, yeah. I'm kind of shitting it, you know? I mean, I got this in the mail the other day, which is basically the confirmation letter that I have cancer. And it's a bit much. I guess it's good because when I was diagnosed, it was kind of like a whirlwind. I couldn't really. It was a lot to take in. But yeah, I'm just seeing it here in black and white. Like, right breast invasive cancer, grade 3, ductal, estrogen and progesterone receptor negative, HER2 borderline. Yeah, because I know you're the one the things. And my ongoing management plan is adjuvant chemotherapy, referral to the Familial Cancer Service for mainstream genetic testing, referral to the Fertility Preservation Service, pre-chemotherapy, MRI scan requested. Whew, well, that ain't no fun at all, is it? I do have a little thing at the back here, which is basically my, like, I think they assign you like a case nurse or something. And so it's her going, you know, I met you on this day when you were unfortunately diagnosed with cancer. And it's like, okay, cool. That's cool. I don't really want to read it. I don't know, it's the words are scary. It's like I'm just kind of like barely hanging on, kind of ignoring the fact that I do have cancer, and just saying I have cancer. Kind of, I've come away. But yeah, it's like I remember when I first found the lump, like fuck, a month and a half ago. And I talked to my doctors and they referred me straight to the hospital because there was some roadworks outside the surgery, so I couldn't go in. And to save time, because otherwise I'd be waiting like a month or something, whatever the fuck. So I go to the hospital and they test it and they're like, well, it doesn't look good. And like, I remember just before, talking to my therapist and she was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And I was like, it's fine. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I was just being blasé and diffusing with humour, which, you know, is a new and interesting tactic for me. And then I got the confirmation letter of my hospital appointment that said, you know, suspected cancer, and I was like, what? You know, it's, I guess you don't really notice, it doesn't really settle in until it's there in black and white. I had a rough day yesterday. I wanted to record a new intro. Which I'll probably retroactively do today just because I'm not good at this fucking... I'm not good at this fucking... What the hell is it called? Vlog thing. I'm not good at it. Because I've never done it before. And that's okay. But thank you for being patient with me. I'm just gonna have a Mandalorian Pez. Everyone want to do that is lift up Din Djarin's helmet and bite a chunk out of his neck because he's made of candy. I got a beautiful present from my friend Elodie last night. A little armadillo squish man. Isn't he absolutely adorable? Look at his little tail. Oh my god. I really need to get to thanking all those people sending me all those beautiful, beautiful gifts. I've been shit at it. It's just been so overwhelming. In other general kind of news, my chair really needs oil. Duh. I actually managed to make myself breakfast today. Like, I cooked myself breakfast, which is something... I can't remember the last time I did that. I got up at 5 a.m. because I was awake, I guess. I've been kind of nervous about today. And I made myself some scrambled eggs on toast, which might not seem like much, but it was my suspected ADHD, my executive dysfunction, which, for those of you who ain't in the know, basically means I have trouble doing anything because of I'm just going to refer to it as my ADHD, even though I haven't got an official diagnosis yet. Just for ease of conversation for this part. I am not self-diagnosing, and I'm not encouraging anyone else to, because Jesus Christ. But earlier in this year, my SSRIs were my sertraline antidepressant thing was raised to 200 milligrams per day, which is a lot. And then I was unable to do fucking anything, like doing art, doing anything towards making videos, just doing anything. There's still commissions I'm working on for like a year and a half ago, and I don't know how these people haven't literally come to my house and murdered me, and I'm so immensely grateful that they haven't, obviously. And yeah, I'm not saying causation equals causality, because no, but it does appear that SSRIs can actually exacerbate ADHD symptoms. And one of my main ones being executive dysfunction. So here's hoping that that's fixed that. I mean, it obviously hasn't, and I'm still going to be suffering a lot, but at least I can actually get stuff done now. My plan for today is to just kind of... I'm just going to try and relax and try not to think too much about my oncology appointment, because it's like fucking like 4:30 in the afternoon, which is like, great, love that, yeah. It's like, 9 hours away, loving that. Alright. Guess I better get on board with that relaxing stuff. I mean, Minecraft ain't gonna play itself. My bedroom. Ooh, I live in agony. And just cause, so you know, I'm serious, I'm gonna put on my horns. So, I got out of my oncology appointment and... oh, it's a lot. I had a blood test. It was pretty... She took 2 big vials. I felt very empty, and I had a nice coffee afterwards. I didn't. It was a Costa coffee, and a Costa is average at best. But yeah, so I got my chemo, kind of what I'm doing. So... EC is like the first set of drugs they're going to give me, as you can see. And they told me I am definitely going to lose my hair. So, I don't know, I guess I was like really freaking out about not knowing for definite, because they say, oh, you might not lose your hair. When it comes to like this kind of stuff, it's like, yeah, I'm probably going to lose it. It's okay. I just want to know. It's... So, I have a start date for October the 3rd. And considering it's the 22nd today, I mean, it probably would have been a bit earlier maybe if I hadn't have decided to talk to the fertility doctor, but whatever. But yeah, I get like a few months of this, I can't remember, it's such a fucking blur. So I get a few months of EC, then I get onto like paclitaxel, pat the taxi, pat the axolotl, which with the big EC stuff, I get one treatment every 3 weeks, because that's what's gonna make me lose my hair, and that's the big daddy one. That's the harsh one, which is why it's only every 3 weeks. But with pat the axolotl, that's gonna be for like, oh, what was it? It was like I can't remember, like 4 cycles, and a cycle is like 3 weeks, and that'll be once a week because it's a lot gentler. But the thing is, the problem with me is that they're still testing my blood for hormones. There's a hormone test called HER2 that hasn't come back yet. And a lot of my treatment is, especially in the secondary stages of my chemotherapy, a lot of that is going to be based on what my hormone screen is coming back as. So this is kind of telling me what I need. I had a really nice chat with the doctor there. She was great, honestly. Side effects are just, I'm really looking forward to them, really. Like the EC is like, they give you this big ass fucking, okay, common side effects. So we got all these: bruising and bleeding, nosebleed, bleeding gums, heavy periods, blood in your urine, tiny red purple spots on skin that may look like a rash, feeling shivery, a sore throat, your temperature over 37.5 degrees, which is a heightened temperature, suddenly feel unwell, symptoms of infection. What they're going to do during this is they're going to monitor my blood cell count, because going through chemo is going to make me basically immunocompromised, which I'm so glad that I decided to get cancer after the pandemic's like peak. You gotta take it where you can, huh? But yeah, they kind of, it's actually pretty cool. They kind of give you a thing like, you know, how will you be going through EC, which is my primary thing. And I don't know, I'm fucking terrified, but at the same time it's better to know than to not know, I guess. And yeah, I think it's going to take me a little while to digest that, but fuck, what else am I going to do? I mean, even the doctor I saw today was like, look, dude, well, she didn't say that, but she was like, look, I get it, this is a lot. Like, I'm supposed to go in tomorrow for my MRI scan results, which the doctor accidentally let slip today, that it looks like in my left breast there's some unusual kind of looking lumps, but they look pretty benign, and they're only really kind of like looking into it to be thorough, which, please, be as thorough as you need to be. I'm getting poked, prodded, and drained every which way anyway. I might as well. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, I was really, really fucking nervous about this appointment. And now that I've had it, I feel a lot better. I had a bit of gender euphoria. Because they take you to be measured in like height and weight. And obviously, I am overweight. Which honestly, I'm kind of like, my metabolism is fucked. I'll get into this at a later point, trust me. It's not exactly a fun conversation. It's more fun than cancer, but I mean, I'm pretty sure most things are. But yeah, and I stood on the thing, And she went round to measure my height, because it's like a little thing on a, it's like that. It's like fisting, but you're doing it wrong. Oh my god, I can't believe there's that with me on the internet now. Whatever. And she went round to put it down. She was like, ah, oh, because I was like, well, because they make you stand up. It's like a little platform till they measure your weight. And I was at that point about 2 feet taller than her, and she was like, I can't quite get it. And I was like, there you go. She was like, thank you. Is that all right? Is that how's that feeling? I was like, well, it's a bit tight there. She's like, we need to be just brushing your head. I'm like, there we go. She was like, thank you. Yeah, I don't know. It's just gender euphoria is eso sí que es. But yeah, so that was kind of nice, and had a laugh with the woman taking my blood. Used a butterfly cannula, which I don't like because they should be called dragonfly cannulas. Sorry, just the way it should be, just the way I feel. I'm gonna get cancelled on Twitter for that, all the med students coming after me. It is like 7 p.m, and Wib and Longfang are streaming for me because I'm still not quite feeling like I can manage that. There's a lot of very emotionally exhausting days that I've had and are ahead of me that I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm very grateful for them for that. So yeah, my job is to eat junk food, which I'm actually very good at. Probably listen to some loud music and just try and decompress because, whew, what a fucking time I'm having, huh? But yeah, after Web's done, because we live in a flat, according to Social Blade, we make upwards of 47 grand a month. I don't know if that's still relevant, because I remember Social Blade used to be real bad for it. We live in a 1-bedroom flat, which means we have 1 bedroom, 1 living room, bathroom, and a kitchen. So basically, our workroom and our leisure room is exactly the same, which is why I'm confined to my messy bedroom. I really need to clean this fucking place up, which I will do later. Probably not though. But yeah, after they've done streaming, I'm probably gonna get that thanking everyone who sent me Amazon gifts out the way. I mean, it's not going to take too long, because, like, I mean, I did get a lot of presents, I did, but, like, half of them just didn't have, like, the lovely person who sent me this, my beautiful horny headband. Don't know why I called it that. My headband with horns on it, that's better. Like, it just didn't come with a name attached, so if you've sent this to me and you see it, thank you so much, I love it. It's really pretty, and I like the idea of having horns. I would like horns, they are very cool. But yeah, so a lot to think about. I think I'm also I think I'm going to try and get some drawing done tonight. I think that'd be cool, because it's kind of been difficult to kind of get the will to do it, but I think it'd do me good to draw some Mandos or something, you know, something nice and easy and relaxing, and I can just watch like a stupid movie and just draw a bunch of Mandalorians.
Just on the second trip to the hospital today.
Yeah, this is my second trip to the hospital today. How many times have you been, filthy casual?
So greedy.
I just love free healthcare. Only went in for a sonogram. Thought I might fuck around, get another biopsy. So, today was fun. Well, like half of today was fun. I went and got a sonogram at 11 o'clock in the morning, which meant that they wanted an MRI on my left boob, because I mentioned yesterday that there's some lumps that they'd like to investigate. They are almost certainly benign, but they want to make sure, just in case. So I went to get a sonogram, but they gave me an MRI as well. And then they decided that during the sonogram, they wanted to have a biopsy, which was really, really unexpected and very fucking painful, which is always fun. But it wasn't so bad because I got a lot of steps in. So I went there at 11 and they said, okay, this could have been a phone call, but basically we want to look at your left boob a bunch. And I was like, okay, that's cool, I could do that. And then they were like, oh, at 12:45 we've scheduled you for a sonogram. And I was like, oh, okay. It's like, so you can either sit here for an hour and a half or you can fuck off. So I fucked off for a bit. Uploaded my first episode of this cancer vlog. Yay. Also, thank you to my handsome husband for helping.
It's alright.
And then rushed back and had a biopsy, which I don't know if y'all know. I don't know if I adequately expressed how exhausting that shit is or how painful it is. But it do big ouchie and make me big sleepy. So then after that, I had a lovely day. Went out with the husband and our friends Kat and Jim to the Warhammered World. You all may have heard of it. Where Jim and Husbo, the absolute hipsteriest of hipsters, had a fun game. And that was fun. And then we had a Burger King on the way back, which was very nice. And now I've just got in. And I'm trying out my new tripod thingy, which is like a weird arm thing. Also, this came in the mail for me today. And it didn't have a letter with it. It didn't have like a note with it, because this is something that's been on my wish list for a while. So whoever sent me that, thank you very much. I'm really looking forward to reading it, because I really love the shadow. Okay. So now I'm probably just going to take a bunch of painkillers, because ouch, my booba, I think is the way you say it in Mandoa at least. And collapse in a heap. Okay, I love you, bye-bye. It's like 20 to 4 in the fucking morning. I am having a time. I've managed to get like an hour's fucking sleep. I'm just, the shirt is my shirt is uncomfortable. Everything is uncomfortable. Everything I own is so uncomfortable, and I am constantly so uncomfortable. I am so mad at myself because I haven't even started fucking chemo yet, and all I can do is complain about how shit I feel. How this is a fucking mess. I can't sleep because this fucking biopsy shit's so goddamn painful. It's like to the point where I can't even lie completely on one of my sides. Because it is that fucking painful. I came out of the bedroom and I thought I'll have a sleep on the fucking couch. And I clear the couch, I slam something down on the fucking table that I don't realise at the time, but I knock a container of my earrings I knock it over. Which is no one's fault but my own. I'm not fucking stupid. But I needed those. And I haven't managed to find them all. And it's just... It's so stupid, but just a little thing like that can set me off. There were no... I don't need them. And it's like, yeah, I can replace them, but I shouldn't fucking have to. I'm looking for them. My fucking house is a mess because I just don't have the energy or the mental wherewithal to clean the fucking thing. I'm just... Fuck, how many days is it until the 3rd of October? I am already so fucking tired. The response to my first vlog has been really nice. I'm so fucking angry at myself because I can't reply to all these people. All these people leaving beautiful comments, all these people leaving incredible advice. Just like really sweet things from people who've like been through it themselves. Like you know, just people being honest. Like, don't get me wrong, the whole, you know, you've got this, you can fucking do this, that means a lot, but then there's the people who are like, I believe in you, but this is gonna be so fucking hard. And I feel like such a fucking sham. I feel like such a fucking fraud. Because I ain't even started chemo yet and I'm acting as if the world's fucking ending. I'm fucking bitching and complaining about how tired I am now and how everything is sore or uncomfortable all the fucking time. Fuck. I'm trying to learn with my therapy to be kind and compassionate to my inner voice, to my critical inner voice. And right now, oh, it ain't easy. It's just, it's trying to distract myself long enough so that I look like I'm together. And that's getting hard. It's getting harder to do, y'all. And I feel, and I'd never speak to anyone else like this, and this is what I need to fucking internalize it, I am not being fair to myself. It is not fair of me to expect me to not be overwhelmed, or to not be angry, or frightened, or to not feel brave. And it is very hard. It is really, it's really hard. Thinking about shaving out the sides of my hair again. It's been a while since I've done that, and well, I'm not gonna have any hair soon, so way I figure it as the only kind of control over the way I'm gonna, the biggest part of the way I look for a while. I ain't a fan of that neither. But it's, do I want to die? Or do I want to be annoyed about not having hair for a fucking while? Gee, let me fucking think on that one, House. I tried to say huh and hoss at the same time, and I ended up sounding like an absolute moron. Which I'm sure happens more often than not. Yeah, I think there's gonna be a few more of these kind of miserable, fucking mopey entries. Because it's hard for me to be open like this. And it's important that I am. For me and for all you as well. I would love to sit here and pretend that it's all a big joke and that I'm not scared and I'm not angry and going through the cycle of grief. I'm speed running it, quite frankly. Top 10th percentile. I'm really impressed with my God fucking damn. I think what frustrates me most about this kind of stuff and how I'm feeling is that I can't properly vocalize how I am feeling. So I'm angry, I'm tired, I'm scared, I'm confused, I'm frustrated. It just comes out as I'm tired. Which ain't wrong. But it doesn't even begin to help me express how I'm feeling. And that, I think, is something I'm really hoping I can get better with. Just, yeah, everything hurts. And if it don't hurt, it's uncomfortable. And if it ain't uncomfortable, it feels weird and wrong. I just want to take a minute to breathe. And even when I have a minute, I am unable to utilize it how I desperately need to. Oh man, this fucking sucks, dude. And I got up pretty light from what I can tell, cancer-wise, I guess. So, what I'm gonna do is, I don't know, listen to some fucking music, clean off the coffee table at the very least, just aim low, aim small, and just try and not be aware that I'm in pain or that I'm exhausted. And I'm becoming aware, the more of these I film, that I spend a lot of time on my own. Like, not by design, but I do. And hopefully, I'll get some sleep before I have to go out in the morning. Wish me luck, yeah? So, despite having such a hard time yesterday, I guess, yeah, like yesterday, in the middle of the night, just not being able to sleep, I actually did manage to figure it out. It was about 40 minutes of sleep. Because I was watching The Haunting of Bly Manor, which is a really good series, like TV show series, whatever the kids are calling it now. And I fell asleep at the beginning of one episode. I can't remember what it's called. And then I woke up like 40 minutes later because they're all like nearly an hour long. And it was like, guess it's time to go out. I mean, I got to see a couple of my friends. I got to see Lynn and Hobby Tan, and that was awesome. I just wish I could have been more I wish I could have been functioning properly to actually enjoy their company, like, as much as they deserve, but I just really wanted to see them. Like the thought of, like, having to cancel or something just didn't occur to me at all. And, like, I slept on the bus ride there. I'm pretty sure I conked out a couple of times sitting in the gaming cafe we were hanging out in. And yeah, it was nice. Yeah, it's like coupled with my little adventure yesterday with our other friends. I really needed that. I just wish that my body and brain had been on board with maybe letting me actually get enough sleep so I could enjoy it. But yeah, feeling a lot more positive. Like, I spend a lot of time alone, I realize, doing these, just because that's just the way it just ends up. So it's nice to just get out the house and see people I care about and have really stupid games of Hero Quest. That was a lot of fun. Tan, our friend who brought Hero Quest, was basically being like the DM, and the rest of us, if I say the rest of us, I mean Lynn and myself, were being massively disruptive shits, but not in like a nasty way. Just kind of, I have not slept enough, and Lynn is a cheeky devil, so managed to get a doodle done last night while I was being spooked out of my gourd, which is nice. Husband said something to me that really, I don't think he realizes just how much a kind word from him can literally fuel me for the next decade. But he said that he's really impressed with how quick I can draw Mandalorian helmets and how and like, what was it he said? It's like in any direction. And I was like, oh, it's easy. You do is you draw an oval and then you do the cross for the nose and the center of the face and then that's it. And he was like, no. You can don't oversimplify. And it's like, okay. I guess I had to accept the fucking compliment. So that was it was really nice to be able to get something drawn. I just, because of like how I draw, I tend to like sound like I'd love like a proper thing one day. But if I got a proper like drawing desk that's kind of like at like a 90-degree angle or whatever, I'd probably never fucking use it anyway. But what I do is I kind of like lean on one of the arms of the couches and just kind of doodle. And because having a biopsy in there and just still getting over the clip implant and stuff like that, and in that boob, it's like, it's really fucking uncomfortable. So I just haven't been drawing as much as I wanted to. It was really nice. It's not great. I'm really not happy with it, but it doesn't matter because being creative or doing anything like that, it's like playing a roguelike. Everything you do, it's not a waste of time as long because you're practicing. So, but yeah. So what's on the docket for today then, darlings? Well, because people have been incredibly generous, like chucking tips our way. Because shock horror, even with socialized healthcare, cancer is expensive. Because we've got travel. I'm not going to bore you with the details. It's just it's frustrating, especially because starting chemo in like less than 2 weeks, and like I'm having to mentally prepare myself. I've got myself a list. So I've got myself a list there. Oh, look, you can just see Cade 6. Look, you give me Nathan Fillion, I'll like the character, okay? Even Caleb from Buffy, even though that gave me some complex feelings. But yeah, so I've got like... It's difficult to kind of figure out. Like, I won't have enough energy to pull a shirt over my head. Dude, that's fucked. That's scary. This just in. Cancer is frightening. But yeah, so I'm gonna go get a comfy thing. I've already got a sweet thing. I need to do that video, and I'm going to do it. You don't have to remind me every 6 months. No, that's something that's been really, really weighing on my mind, and I really want to do it because all these lovely people have taken time out of their money. They're taking wallets out of their money, and time out of their money, time out of their day, money out of their wallets to comfort me, to help me out. And I just don't have the emotional strength to fucking reply. I know I shouldn't be that harsh on myself, but I'm just really pissed off because it does mean so much to me, but again, I just can't articulate it. But yeah, I'll put up on the thing who got me that beautiful blanket, little Mandalorian cancer blanket, like chemo blankie. So yeah, there's a chance I could lose a bunch of weight during chemo, which, ladies, am I right? No. Which, so, I mean, fine. I like really baggy, comfy clothes anyway. When I'm kind of like lounging around and you know, having a veritable cocktail of medicine flushed through my system. I'm just kind of weird like that. But yeah, so I need to look into wigs as well, because that is something I'm wanting to do. Get like a nice wig or two, probably if I'm able to, on the NHS prescription service, because I think you can get 2 a year, and I'm just like, look, I just want like 2, because I can have like my kind of like, oh, I'm just popping to get some milk, and I'd feel like I want to wear a wig, or you know, oh, I'm hanging out with mates, and I wanna kind of look like, feel like I'm dressed up and made a bit of an effort, you know. I'll have to look into that at some point soon. Seeing as I'm starting chemo so soon, and I think they do recommend that you go get measured and everything and fitted before you start chemo, because apparently the hair loss it happens pretty quick and suddenly, which honestly I think I prefer. Because then you're not sitting there going, oh, maybe I'm the special one and I won't lose my hair. But it is weird, because I've got like a few boxes of bleach and dye hanging around, and I have such a meticulous system to keeping my hair grey. It's a pain in the fucking ass, but I like the way it looks, so I don't care. And it's weird that in like probably this time next month, I won't need any of it. But today is a positive day. I know it's a Sunday, so all the shops are going to be wanky and everything, but I don't know, it gives me something to focus on, and, you know, ADHD brain is happy because buy thing. So yeah, I go get a bunch of snuggly, comfy clothes that I can do chemo in. Thanks to you. And that means a fucking lot. So even if you're just watching this, thank you. It does help. And now I'm probably going to put up some awkward editing of me going into the city and trying on a bunch of stupid... What I need is a fashion montage. I need some Chanel boots. The whole shebang. But yeah, I'm feeling better today, and I'm going to enjoy that. And maybe I'll even find a cute little like kitty or dinosaur beanie or something that I can wear when I can't be bothered with one of my wigs. You know, something that really screams, I'm 6 foot in boots and I'm scary, but I really like cute dinosaurs. Oh yeah. Oh, 8:45. I thought it was 11 o'clock. Oh, okay, no worries. No. Well, since I don't have an appointment today. That's good. It's very good. Because I was convinced that it was at 11 o'clock in the morning instead of 8:45, which is in half an hour, and I have just fucking woken up. I feel better about that. I'm filling out, this is my genetic testing form. Very sci-fi, very cool. Which is what I thought I was going in for today. But, oh, that's such a fucking relief. Because if it had been half an hour, I would have basically had to have left half an hour ago. Oh, okay. But yeah, no, general update apart from that. Didn't go out yesterday because it turns out only having slept for like under an hour the day before and running myself ragged meant that getting up at like 10 a.m. was a bit of a stretch, so I just didn't. I don't even remember turning my alarm off, but it's frustrating, but you're like, okay, fine. Sometimes you gotta concede defeat, and that was annoying, but yeah. Oh god, I'm an absolute mess, y'all. Literally, like, just got up this fucking second. But yeah, so what I'm planning on doing today is going chemo shopping. I have a feeling this is probably. I'm gonna try and in my brain. I'm gonna try and make out that it's like, oh, it's I'm just treating myself. It's a big fancy shopping spree that I'm doing to cheer myself up or something. I mean, I'm gonna grab myself some lunch to make it feel fancy. Holy shit! I am so glad I got a phone call cancelling my appointment today. Let me double check. Okay, yeah, no, they literally. Let me see. It literally says there, 26th of September at 11 a.m. The familiar yes, that's cancel my family. I mean, you can cancel half of them, that's fine. At 11 a.m. So apparently they had to reschedule because they accidentally booked it with the wrong clinic. So, dodged a bullet there. Huh. Well, interesting way to start the day. Okay, so you know how this morning I got a phone call and I thought I had to see the familial cancer specialist at 8:45, according to that phone call. And then they cancelled on me and I was like, oh cool, I've got a day to go and get I've got a day off to go and get some chemo clothes and stuff, something nice and baggy, some nice hats or something. And at 10:30, I get a phone call going, hey, yeah, this is from the familiar cancer unit. We're just wondering if you're still showing up at 11. Oh, I had just finished putting my makeup on. And I was like, yes, I can, yes, I'll do that. I'll be right there, that's fine. So I frantically run around and I manage to get out the door. My family tree, which is a family shrub, a sapling, I don't know. It's a very small bitch. Bonsai, because there's a lot of history there and it's a lot older than you'd think. Metaphors. So I rush the fuck out the house, throw on whatever clothes I've got, and I just run to the bus stop. And I get the very last bus I am able to before I will be late. Okay, because I'm like, well, I could just run to the hospital, but I can't run when I'm having a panic attack because I was really fucking freaked out. So I get there and I go through, and the lady I talk to is the sweetest thing in the world. She's so aggressively Irish, it's adorable. Her name is like Aoife, A-O-I-F-E, which is a very Irish name, and it's so pretty, and I feel really bad. I'll learn how to pronounce it as soon as I finish recording this, and probably neg myself a little bit. But yeah, and she draws my family tree with me, and we have a good old laugh about how shit my parents are. And she was like, oh, is it okay if we contact your parents? And I'm like, I haven't contacted my parents in nearly 7 years, so I would prefer it if you didn't. She was like, oh, okay, that's fine. And the thing about having no contact with your parents is a lot of the time when it comes up in conversation with someone new, or just someone in passing, and you're kind of like, well, I kind of got to bring this up. You'll tell them, and then they'll kind of like try and nudge you and be like, oh, are you sure that's a good thing? Because they are your parents at the end of the day. And it's like, I was their child at the end of the day, and that didn't stop any of that unpleasantness happening. But I digress. My tragic backstory can wait for another segment, I'm sure. And this lady, she was just like, oh, okay. And like fully trusted that I knew the gravity of the situation, and I knew the consequences of my choices. And I'm like, that's not something that I really typically encounter with new people, especially like older kind of people. But no, she was very accepting, and she was very nice, and had a chat about my family history, and I had to sign a consent form so that if anyone I'm related to comes forward, because I've had genetic testing to see if I have 3 markers, which is BRCA1, BRCA2, and I don't know, Pablo Escobar. I don't fucking remember. I'll put them on screen. Oh, I'm an editing maestro. Basically, we've all got those in our DNA, and sometimes when they're not working, those are indicators of like genetic predisposition to cancer or something. I don't know. I don't 100% take my my explanations for 100% legit, because I am in the middle of a fucking cyclone, and everything is happening to me twice all at once yesterday. So it's a bit tricky to keep things straight. But yeah, I feel really positive about that. I needed to have blood taken. The lady I got blood taken, she also had a lot of piercings and a lot of tattoos. And I was like, by the way, I love your piercings and tattoos. They're so pretty. Because I rarely encounter other people with, like, say, as many earrings as I have. And she was like, oh, thank you, that's so nice, I really appreciate that, you know. Usually the comments I get at work are like, because, you know, she's a nurse, she draws a lot of blood in a day. And we basically had, while she was taking my blood, because she was incredibly good at it, actually, barely felt a thing. She took 2 vials, didn't even fucking notice, honestly, she was great. We were just bitching about how it's always old dudes who like to comment on your body, and I'm like, don't see the problem, don't see the reason of you having all those. And it's just like, don't see the reason it's any of your fucking business. Shouldn't you be dead now? Come on, black lung, hurry up. That's a bit mean. But yeah, and it was nice. It was nice to have just like a normal chat with somebody about something I don't really ever get to chat about. Like, you know, she was like, I can't remember how it came up, but it was a natural kind of thing coming up in the conversation, where she was like, oh yeah, and they always ask you got piercings elsewhere, and I'm like, if I had a pound for every time a creepy old man had asked me what else I had pierced, I would basically have enough to pay off the lawyers of all the old men I would punch in the face. In Minecraft, not an actionable threat. We had a good laugh about that. And she told me about this one fucking guy. Okay, like, so she was like, oh, I was in a dress, because, you know, you get your nurse dresses and stuff. And she was like, I don't like wearing tights at work. And I was like, I get that. And she's got a bunch of leg tattoos. And there was a guy waiting for, like, a blood test who was like, as this old dude, and he kind of leaned over and looked at her and was like, what's that on there? What's that got covered in it? And it's like the fact that he referred to her as a that. And she was like, I was so shocked I just kind of hid, because, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's your fucking job, you know, you're getting harassed in your place of work, and if you defend yourself, you're the one who's being a dick. And then this guy goes on like a 50-minute rant about he doesn't believe that females should have tattoos. And it's like, yeah, well, I don't think you should have any say on my body, but, you know, don't always get what we want, you creepy old fuck. But yeah, it's like, just to be like completely frank, if you all want to ask questions about my piercings or tattoos, please feel free. It's something I love talking about and don't often get the chance. But I mean, like, I have to tell any of you guys not to be like, oh, you got anything pierced down there? Got any other tattoos I can't see? I know you all aren't going to do that, but like, people are always super jazzed about their tattoos or piercings. Like 9 times out of 10, if you just say, like, if you like someone's tattoo or piercing, just say, and it'll make their day. Because it always makes mine. Anytime I've had someone be like, you got a lot of piercings, that's really cool. And I'm like, thank you. But yeah. So, waiting for my blood test, I was like, tomorrow, I'm gonna relax. Oh, Pedro Pascal has just tweeted. Just in case, you know, you wanted to know, I know you did. I was like, tomorrow I'm gonna have a day off and I'm just gonna relax. And then my phone rings while I'm waiting for my blood test. It's the hospital, one fucking department across from where I'm currently sitting at that point on now. They're like, yeah, we're wondering if you heard back from the fertility clinic. I'm like, no, that's on the 28th. And they're like, oh, because we need to start you on pre-chemo treatment. Well, it's a pre-chemo appointment where what they do is they ask you to go in and they kind of give you the A, B's, and C's about your specific chemotherapy treatment. And I was like, okay, well, when do you want to do that? Because I was told that the moment I figure out what my fertility options are, and if I choose to pursue any of them, like having eggs frozen, having an injection that basically puts my ovaries on pause, which, hello, I've always wanted something like that. Since I was an uneducated, non-cis teenager who didn't even know what a non-binary person was. And I'm not going to go in with any of that, but I want to hear. And I said, look, I told you that the moment I figure out what I'm doing, I'm going to call you all and let you know, so we can definitely start chemo on the 3rd. And she was like, okay, sure. Do you want to come in tomorrow for your pre-chemo treatment kind of like rundown? And I'm like, okay, sure, I can do that. That's fine. So at 11 AM tomorrow, I'm going in to basically be told to wear a nice hat. I don't know. Feeling a bit overwhelmed. That's a shock. Oh, I've been holding it together so well. But no. Just really tiring. And I know my weight's gone to shit because I've just had no energy to actually monitor what I'm eating or putting care into what I'm eating. But at the same time, it's like, I think I'm allowed to just not worry about that for a little bit. Seeing as, you know, I'm starting chemo soon and I'm probably going to feel too sick to want to eat a lot of things anyway, and I'm not going to be able to get out very much, and it's going to be kind of not the funnest. So, and my taste buds will probably be fucked. That's what a lot of folk have been telling me. People who've like been through it themselves have been like, yeah, watch out because your taste buds will be fucked. So I'm eating things that make me happy now, because there's going to be like a space of 6 months where I don't think I'll really enjoy eating anything. So having a bit of extra meat on me is, you know, it's fortifying me a little bit, so. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna have a couple of pizza Pringles. You in a bit. And maybe draw something. And just relax. Also, talking about relaxation, I saw this little kind of wind up, like, clay stick mask thing that had Grogu on it. It was really cute and, like, really silly. Like, I mean, okay, yeah, I love Star Wars. I love Baby Yoda, Grogu. I love The Mandalorian. I hide it very well, but I mean, like, I mean, come on. I'm not just gonna buy anything with a little green bugger on it. Okay, fine, sue me. I needed a new face mask and this has got a little cute baby on it and I thought it was really cool and it smells nice and the pink works really well with the green and it's not racist because no one knows what species Grogu is and it's sci-fi. Remember that scene from The Mask where his creepy fucking landlady comes out with a face mask on? Maybe that's me from the future. Ooh, I'm gonna be a landlady. Oh no. But I want working class solidarity. I'm not a traitor. Can't wait for that to be taken out of context. Holy shit, y'all. Yesterday was flat out. I was flat out like a lizard drinking. Very busy. I had my, like a chemotherapy induction. So I went to the, what was it, like, combined day patients or something like that. It's not just a chemotherapy wing, but a lot of chemotherapy goes on there. So, the ward nurse, Leslie, was an incredibly sweet lady. And she kind of talked me through what the process would be with my chemotherapy. My ATR2 is like a hormone test in my biopsy. Results still haven't come back yet, but she said that if I'm negative or positive, I think if I'm positive, then there is like a hormone that would be added to my chemo. I don't know. It's such a fucking blur. But yeah, because what my cancer is it's like estrogen negative or whatever, which means that there are some breast cancers that would react to hormone therapy in a way that would be beneficial to me, but mine is non hormone receptive. It's just a dick like that. So she showed me around the wards. God, it's getting fucking real. I'm starting on the 3rd of October at 3 p.m. And Jesus Christ, it's kind of crazy. I mean, I went out today afterwards. So after I was shown around and given the basic gist of what's going on, what will happen, which... I'm glad I had the husband with me because there's no way in hell I would remember anything if it weren't for him. He has a good brain sponge. Like that. And then later I went out to Nottingham and I got an angler squish. Isn't he cute? You can't really see because of the lighting, but he's like a really pretty purple. And he's so cuddly and soft. And he's a trans man because only femme anglerfish have the little... Well, it's really obscene, doesn't it? Because only femme anglerfish have those. So he's trans and I love him and he's my baby. I'm glad I could pop out and grab this sweet thing. Been having trouble finding chemo clothes because everywhere I go, fashion is happening, and currently fashion is fuck ugly dog shit for days, forever. It's horrible. It's like, it's all bucket hats and everything you wear has to look like it don't quite fit you right. And I'm like, it's like growing up in the 90s, because I'm apparently 100 years old, as a grunge kid, the opposite of grunge at the time was the stupid raver neon color, ugly as fuck bucket hats, really gross, kind of like cropped grandma sweaters and stuff. And like, I literally, when I was leaving H&M today, I saw this woman come in who had like her hair like flat to her skull, and she had like two little bits of hair like that underneath a bucket hat, and I was like, Jesus Christ, it's happening again. I don't know if I have the emotional mature I don't know if I have the emotional strength to go through that again. And so moral of the story is every beanie I found looked like shit. But I did find one on Etsy. And that's like handmade, so I don't mind paying a bit extra, because even if you pay a bit extra for art, you're always underpaying for art. So I'm looking forward to getting that. That's going to be cool. What else? Yeah, I had to just spend a lot of time in Nottingham yesterday. And I had my first burrito, which it was fine. I mean, I don't know if it was mixed very well. Again, it's a gringo establishment. like I know what the fuck. But you know, it's just the whole, you know, you don't get an authentic burrito, whatever. But I refuse to have Taco Bell. I'm sorry. I just fuck off. So at 9:30 today, I'm going in for talks with a fertility doctor who is going to basically lay my options out on the table as to my fertility, as like the roadmap through my chemo. So I've never really wanted to have my biological children. I go back and forth between wanting children at all. Husband and I have discussed this at length. We wouldn't be together if this was a deal breaker. He's kind of on the fence, so he's completely fine with not having children or having children. But at the moment, it's a no on the kids front. And the nurse yesterday, she explained to me that during chemo, my periods probably will stop. Some people find that they get heavier, get lighter, or they're just irregular. Because I'm quite young to be having cancer, they say that it's probable that my periods will return to normal post chemotherapy. But I still have access to, I can't remember. It was a really cool, like, X-Men name, the drug that's to shut down ovaries, like, to basically put your ovaries in sleep mode. And I never really thought about how much I was, like, not into, like, biologically having kids until it was fine when it was a choice, but now that it might not be my choice, I'm feeling all sorts of ways. I mean, I'm a tocophobic, which is someone has a phobia of carrying a child and all that. It just makes me feel disgusting. It's creepy. It's frightening. So I'm not going to be doing that. But at the same time, it's like the moment that it might not be my choice anymore is the moment I get really cranky about it. Which I don't think is unreasonable. But yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe the doctor will say something today that'll make me go, Oh, bloody hell, I've never thought of that before, have I, Angler Squish? That's him trying to say no. Yeah, there we go. But, I mean, it's unlikely, and I need to message my doctor at the moment. I come out, and tell her basically what my choice is, which currently is just no, I don't want any fertility treatment. I don't want any kind of I don't want any egg saving or whatever. I'm not interested. I just want to start chemo and get this the fuck over with. So that's where I'm at right now. So wish me luck, and I'll probably check in with you at the end of the day. So I have missed out a lot of nuances about my treatment, because it's a lot to take in. I'll try and quick fire a few just so I've said them because I meant to say them in previous entries and I just haven't. When I start chemo, they're going to be putting it in the intravenous drip on the side of my arm here, because they want to keep an eye on it and they want the vein to be as visible as possible. I don't want to brag, but not many of my veins are very visible. And they were like, yeah, so if it's leaking, let us know as soon as you can. If your chemo fluid is leaking out, tell us as soon as you can, because if you don't, it will mess with your skin to the point where you will require a skin graft. I'm sorry. My veins can deal with it, but my skin can't. Whatever. I'm going for scalp cooling, which means I have to sit there with a weird cap on full of water with my hair slathered in conditioner so it conducts better. And I guess they do that because this is a complete stab in the dark. So I have no clue if this is correct. And I'm not going to research it, even though my computer is right here. Because I have literally this second just woken up and cannot be bothered. But I guess it's just slow the blood flow or something. But the thing is, it won't save my eyebrows, my eyelashes. Which is fine. I got some stencils the other day for my eyebrows because I like my eyebrows. My hair is yeah, I guess I can lose that. That's why I got it down today, because everyone can look at how much of a bog witch I look with my hair down. But no, my nurse also said that I touched upon this as need to get my hair cut short, so I'm gonna go do that today. Trying scalp cooling for my first chemo session, and I hope that I have the fortitude to continue, because it does apparently help, and and studies have shown that people who go through the chemotherapy with the scalp cooling actually have quicker regrowth and stuff post chemo, so that's okay. I met with the fertility doctor. He was very all for oh yeah, you can save your eggs and stuff, and I'm like, but do I have to though? And then he said something that did actually make me kind of go, oh, okay, maybe I'll do that. He said that during chemotherapy, because it's meant to attack rapidly reproducing or producing cells or something, that's a similar thing what ovaries do with eggs or whatever, something really gross and yucky and bleh, and that would also that's what chemotherapy would also target that. And I'm like, okay, that's great. Oh my god, stop yawning, you absolute fucking weirdo. Ugh. I just want the internet to see the inside of my mouth. And he said that process would basically give me menopausal symptoms during my chemotherapy. And I'm like, yeah, nah, fuck that. So there is an injection that can basically put my ovaries in hibernation during chemotherapy, which I'm gonna go for because fuck menopausal symptoms. Like, I ain't got enough on my plate. Fucking getting that stuff from the end of, like, the toxic waste at the end of Robocop pumped into me. I gotta have menopausal scent, like hot sweats and fucking shit too. No, I'm not doing that. Piss off. Apart from that, I've been keeping busy. I've just, like, been trying to relax. This has been my first, not really a solid day off, because I've still got to go do stuff. But, it's stuff that I want to do. So I want to go out and get my hair cut, which, see, I do it myself, but I can trim it and I can do that kind of stuff myself. But when it comes to particular styles, that's not something I can really do at home. I don't have eyes in the back of my head. But yeah, there's not really much left on my chemo shopping list. I need a cardigan and like some slip-on shoes or something like that. And I don't like the language they use. It's scary. They're like, in all the information leaflets, they're like, be sure to take things that are easy to remove or put on because you're gonna be really sleepy. Oh, so sleepy. And I'm like, oh, great. Also, during my chemo, I've had to buy a fancy thermometer, which, because chemotherapy basically fucks your immune system because it lowers, like, a type of blood count, like a type of cell count. Again, don't quote me. If you want specifics, this is not what I'm here to give you. I'm not here to give you the proper medical rundown. So they've given me a rapid response number, which means that during chemotherapy, if I feel unwell, to take my temperature, mark it down, and phone them immediately. Even if I think I'm being a bit overly sensitive. No, they're like, the woman was super fucking insistent. Like, no, you feel unwell, you call in immediately and you give us your temperature and we'll get you checked out. And I'm like, oh, I mean, COVID's made me pretty friggin' fastidious, so I should, touch wood, should be okay. But, like, and I know I need to know everything about what I'm going to do just in case something goes wrong, but it's still kind of spooky to hear. Been trying to think of things to do while I'm getting chemo, because for my personal chemotherapy, I'm just going to be sat in a room for, like, I think it's like 1 hour of active chemotherapy, and then there's like an hour run up with the scalp cooling because I've got to get the thing ready and I've got to have it on for a little longer, before I start my actual chemotherapy. And I think they give you a bunch of anti-nausea drugs beforehand and a bunch afterwards. They're gonna be giving me like a bunch of like medicine to take home. I can't remember whether, I think that might be anti-nausea as well. That'll be like little self-administered injections, which reminds me of growing up. That's a grim story for another time. Which they were like, oh, your husband can administer for you, or you can do. And I'm like, I'm not gonna force Whip to do that. I mean, I don't need him to. It's like, I can do that, but I know that if I needed him to, he would. I'm very lucky. But yeah, thinking of things to do during chemotherapy, because like I said, it's like, I'm going to be there a little while. I was thinking of like an idle thought of me taking my felting, because I've been doing that again, because it's fun and I like it. But the problem is they'd have to listen to me sit there and go, "Eep, eep." Which, if the cancer won't kill me, everyone else in the ward certainly will, which is fair. Yeah. Thinking about advice I'm getting. Like, don't get me wrong, like, if you've sent me advice, thank you. I appreciate it. Like, the incredible advice I've got has been like, wear a blanket, be careful with what you eat. Don't try to have, try to be aware that some of your favorite foods might taste different, or in some cases awful, because chemotherapy messes with your taste buds in your mouth and you can get mouth sores and stuff like that. Or like, people have been like, oh, try ibuprofen gel, or like try XYZ for like, and it's like, that really is helpful. I have received a few comments that fill me with rage, to put it nicely. I don't feel I can. I don't feel I can properly articulate how angry these comments make me, where they'll be like, oh, just don't eat sugar, you don't need chemo. Fuck you. I do need chemo, because if I don't have chemo, I'm gonna die. It's that fucking simple. And it's like, I know 99.9% of these comments are from a place of grief, a place of mourning. And everyone has nearly literally every single person has a story about losing someone to cancer. And that fucking sucks. But telling an active cancer patient that they should avoid medical treatment and just do this one weird trick that makes doctors hate you, that's fucking harmful. Because I know you're fucking speaking bullshit, but what about someone else out there who's scared and doesn't know? Or someone else that fucking... I have a lot of complex emotions about that. So, unless you're my doctor or my cancer nurses, I don't ever want to hear your medical advice. A friend of mine, David, said it best. If you're not someone's doctor, fuck off. If you want to give me like, oh, well, I was going through chemo, I thought I had a slushy afterwards and it helped my mouth. That's fantastic. Please, you want to give me advice like that? That's incredible. I happily accept. But if it's, don't do the second round of chemo, or, don't do this, because everyone's cancer is so incredibly different. There are so many drugs involved in chemotherapy. There's so many little bits and bobs. It's such a tailored fucking treatment. One person's cancer is going to look nothing like someone else's. And having people who mean well come out and be like, oh, just do X, that's going to help. And it's like medically, it's like, no, I'm not listening to you. I'm sorry, I'm not fucking listening to you. Because the people who know what advice to give and what treatment to do is the people who are taking 4 pints of my blood a week and sending it to some of the smartest fucking people known to man. So, I'm sorry, random commenter, random passerby, I'm not going to pay attention to you. It would be nice if it was just, if you just eat an aubergine really suggestively at a bus stop at 10:30 in the morning, you don't need to do chemo. It's like, yeah, I'd fucking love to live in a world like that. And I know you don't understand the negative impact that can have on people. And you're just trying to help. But maybe don't. And I'm making this out like there's like 4,000 people constantly on my door screaming like, oh, have you tried grilling chicken? Or fucking whatever. It's just, again, it's been a handful compared to the literally tens of thousands of sweet, incredible, amazing comments I've received supporting me. So it's like it's just something I needed to say, you know. But yeah. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna try and wake up. Keyword being try. And I'm gonna head into the city. I'm gonna get a haircut. Con hair. I'm probably try and convince the hairdressers. Like, look, oh my god, this is gonna be so awkward. And you go, oh, what you want doing today, darling? Because hairdressers are some of the most sweet people in the world. I don't care who you are. Hairdressers are adorable. And it's like, oh, why are you cutting your lovely hair short? I've got cancer. Oh. I mean, obviously, I don't know how it's gonna go. But damn, that's gonna be awkward. You know what? Cancer is kind of cringe. Comment below. I'll figure it out. The only way to move forward is to move forward. I'm something of a philosophy buff. What can I say? The only way through is through. So I'm just gonna have to deal with the awkwardness of like, yeah, I've got cancer and my hair's gonna fall out anyway. And they said that if I cut it short, it'd be less horrible on me. I don't know, what's more awkward? Telling the hairdresser you've got cancer or what you do for a living if you're a YouTuber? Who can say? I guess I'm about to find out. I'll let you darlings know. But yes, wish me luck.